when you need to add like special properties to brushes, or to animate them or make them like physical object, what we want is called a world model. So what we do for this example is to do like two physics object, rigid bodies, one with a more complex shape and another with a simple shape. So first of all, select ground, Shift X center marker, and we want to add, we want to use this desk in prefabs tech. It's called desk plane. So double click to add it, then place it here. Now don't do this at home, but we want to disconnect the prefab. So right click, disconnect. Okay, but yeah, normally we don't want to disconnect prefab, we want to do like its own prefab, but for this tutorial it would be faster to disconnect it. But don't do that, every time you disconnect prefab a kitten die. So now remove this brush, which is for AI, we'll see that in the future. Delete. Now select every part of the table with Shift, then Shift X to center marker, and then right click, selection, and bind to object. Then select a world model. Now to select only the world model, you can Alt Shift and then click on it, or just click on it in object mode. And properties, for rigid body what we want is to have gravity true, rigid body true, and this is it. And what we want to do, this will be for the simple table, and we want to select everything, Alt D, and drag it to clone everything to the other side. Now for the simple table, what we need is also the physics shape to be OBB for like a box, and a box physics true for simple box physics. This means it will have like a simple box around it as collision. And for this one, we want like a collision that fit more the model, for this to show how to do it. So select the world model. For this one, we and box physics to false. So make this world model F3 for like the main object, then right click, add object, and add a physics shape OBB for box. Now we have like this box. In object mode we can resize it to fit our object as much as possible. So that's for the top, and then I want to clone this shape to create the other portion. This will be the front, and then I would do the side. Like this, clone this to the other side, and now we made like a rough shape in boxes of the object. And what's cool also with that is we can set the mass for each of the shape. So for example, the top can be a mass of 2, and then if we select every other else, it can be a mass of 3. But for this one, the mass we want to set it here, which would be, for example, a mass of like 6 in total. And density, which is like the water thingy, more than 1, the object will sink in the water. So like maybe this to 2. And the last thing also I want to do with this world model is I need also to create a, if I do Control K, add object, I want to create a physics collision system. This means every object inside the system won't collide between each other. So every of our shape, like we want to add into the system. So copy paste the name, and I add the 4 of them here. Unchange the number because that's all they are named. So that's 4 of them in the system. You can see like the yellow arrow pointing to each of them. So now we are sure that everything will work. So save the map and compile. Now we can test this, and we see like we can test the physics object now. So if we look around, we have our 2 tables, and if I shoot them, they will move, or if I kick them also. So this is it for this tutorial. We'll see for the future tutorial how to make like physics constraint also, which are really nice.